from the pages of the World Wrestling Federation magazine. So this is WWF Magazine 1989. It's got Hulk Hogan on the cover. On the back, it has an advertisement for No Holds Barred. No ring, no ref, no rules. 2 huge posters of Rip and Zeus, free inside. Let's hopefully, maybe the poster's still in here. I doubt that. But we check this out. You have an ad for Airwolf for Nintendo and your table of contents. Look at this, an ad for Rascals. Remember Rascals? Kind of like Skittles. And then you can, you got some mail away. You can join the WWF fan club, or you can order No Holds Barred stuff. Looks like a t-shirt and a poster. Yeah. You know, I never looked through the credits of the magazine before, and I just see their Howard Finkel's name is listed. Howard Finkel is, what was his credit? Technical advisor, Howard Finkel. There you go. There is, I remember Lou Gianfrido. He was the editorial assistant on this issue, and he was the one that Bob Backlund gave the crossface chicken wing to on an episode of Monday Night Raw. So then you've got your first article, Around the Ring, and of course an advertisement. What is that? Columbia House? 6 compact discs for the price of 1. With nothing to buy ever. Yeah, there you go. So Around the Ring. So yeah, it's just talking about the aftermath of WrestleMania 5. Goes into Randy Savage bringing in Sherry as his new manager. So she was full on sensational Sherry now that she dropped the Martel. Another important question to answer, long overdue. Who is the true giant? Andre the Giant or Big John Studd? The fact that, like, that's even being asked is dumb. Because Andre was so much bigger than Studd. Andre has the edge, although Studd is a Leviathan of his own. Andre may also have another sort of edge, provided by his devious manager, Bobby the Brain Heenan. This issue looks at Studd-Andre conflict in terms of the... So this is kind of like, what this is like a rundown of what you're gonna read about in the magazine. Fan forum is always one of my favorites to read as a kid. It's when the fans write letters and they answer them. And then we've also got an advertisement for Superstars. This summer coming to an arcade near you. So this is the Superstars arcade game. Which, that's cool, but like they don't show any gameplay screenshots. They're just teasing you a little bit. Then you have Body Language. Jesse the Body Ventura's article. Always dug that. Miss Elizabeth Perfume, now I've seen everything. Yeah, so Jesse Ventura. And he goes on and, you know, that's pretty dope. And then, of course, you have the advertisement for subscription to WWF Magazine, which these things are also there for. I don't know why anyone would want to cut out their magazine. You just pull one of those out. What were you thinking? So here's an article on Dino Bravo choosing Jimmy Hart as his manager. So remember Dino Bravo, when he first came to the WWF, he was managed by Johnny Valiant. When Johnny Valiant left, he was managed by Frenchie Martin. And so this was after Frenchie Martin left the WWF. Jimmy Hart took over the managerial duties of Dino Bravo. Personality profile. They do a little profile this month is Jimmy Snuka. Jimmy Snuka had just returned at WrestleMania 5 after a few years off. He was in the AWA for a little while during that time. An interview with Hulk Hogan. Wonder what Hulk has to say. Let's read a question. Hulk, when questioning you, it is difficult to know where to begin, but we'll start with WrestleMania 5. And the way you regained the title, it made history. Hulkamaniacs are still cheering your victory. What, in your opinion, was the turning point of the match? And Hulk replies with, when Macho Man landed the big elbow, man, I hurt. I felt like I was going down, but I felt the vibes from all those Hulkamaniacs, and something happened deep inside. I knew I couldn't go down. I couldn't betray what Hulkamania stands for. It's Savage's most potent weapon, and it couldn't put me away. I felt then I had the match. And he goes on about No Holds Barred. There's a bunch of No Holds Barred questions, and we see some No Holds Barred photos. This was also always one of my favorite articles back in the day, Battle of the Titans. So they would talk about a match that aired on TV, and there would be an article on it. Now, the problem was, like, by the time the magazine came out, like, this match had happened, like, maybe even, like, months in advance, but it was always good to go back and relook at the match. This was a big feud going on back then. Greg Valentine would eventually defeat Ron Garvin in a retirement match. Garvin would have to go on and retire, and he would become a referee, and he would always foil Greg Valentine's matches. So yeah, it's just a bunch of highlights of the match. Article about the Ultimate Warrior and Rick Rude. Rick Rude had just beat the Warrior at WrestleMania to win the Intercontinental Championship. And they just talk about the match. They show pictures. More on that, and another advertisement for No Holds Barred. Going all in on No Holds Barred in this issue. Shout out to No Holds Barred. And the article continues, and there is the Wrestling Spotlight was a magazine that would feature a wrestler. It would come out quarterly. That issue featured the Ultimate Warrior. I actually have a Wrestling Spotlight right next to me. I could show you. It's not that issue, but I have the Big Boss Man. And what I liked about Wrestling Spotlight is it would come with posters, and I would hang the posters on my wall. Maybe in another video, we'll talk about Wrestling Spotlight. And then you've got trivia and the merchandise catalog. The merchandise catalog was always fun as a kid. And I always see stuff that I would want and I would never get, but I would always want it. I had the VCR game. I had the WrestleMania Nintendo game. They were still selling George Steele Mine dolls at this point, but I think he was long gone by then. My favorite page of the merchandise catalog was always the wrestlers' T-shirts. That was always my favorite page. I had that Macho Man shirt as an adult. I would like some of these. I have this Demolition shirt right now, like currently as an adult. I would like some of those. And the Powers of Pain one. I've actually got that one too. Yeah, I would like some more. I would like that Ultimate Warrior tank top. Here's posters. And just more merch. And then here's the form you fill out to order the merch. Advertisement for the ice cream bars. I think a lot of people are looking at those through rose-colored glasses. They weren't all that good. This is a cool centerfold. Look at that. Sherry, and she's stomping on Brutus Beefcake because he had made fun of her, and Macho Man came out and cut his hair on the Brother Love show. Pretty dope. And here's photos of the incident. He came out and he was like, "Scary Sherry," and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna cut your hair." Demolition was feuding with the Twin Towers at the time. Big Boss Man and Akeem. And just articles with more photos of the Demolition. Demolition in action. And then, of course, you have to have articles about the photos of the Twin Towers. How do they match up? So here's a cool article. Inside information. Bobby Heenan tells Andre everything he needs to know about Big John Studd. So remember, Big John Studd was managed by Heenan, and then he left the WWF. Heenan would go on to manage Andre the Giant. When Studd came back, Heenan was excited. He's like, "Yeah, you're back." And Studd was like, "Oh no, I'm not with you anymore. I'm a good guy." And Big John Studd was the referee for Andre's match with Jake at WrestleMania 5. Big John Studd wasn't around much longer after this. He might have been gone by the time this magazine came out. He was not there very long. So we have an article about a fistful of dollars. Jake Roberts and the $1 Million Man. So Jake and DiBiase had started a feud at this point. DiBiase actually put Jake out of action for a few months. And this article goes on about, like, you know, Jake and DiBiase and their feud. Yeah, so like DiBiase put him in the $1 Million Dream and took him out for like, it was like 3 or 4 months. It was a while. Jake was selling an injury. And then I remember, yeah, so here's the photo of it. He was like, you know how like Ted DiBiase would put $100 bills in the opponent's mouth after the match? Like he was cramming them down his throat. It was pretty nuts. So this is a cool article on pre-WrestleMania, like WrestleMania weekend, like all the happenings that were going on, like the marathon, and it looks like there was like some live event where Hulk Hogan made an appearance. Looks like Donald Trump is being interviewed by Mean Gene. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. There's some more photos of that. And WWF Lowdown. So that's, yeah, the Miller Lite ad that Jesse Ventura did. He was in a commercial. I want to say Vince McMahon was in that as well, or maybe it was another commercial. Wrestler's Rebuttal, which was always a cool article where the wrestlers had kayfabe wrote it on their feud. So this one was about how the Fabulous Rougeaus could not defeat the Rockers. And there's a crossword puzzle. Looks like a couple of the words have been filled out. And Caught in the Act was always a cool photo at the end of the magazine. And we got an advertisement for Skittles. So there you have it. That is WWF Magazine, July 1989. Let me know in the comments below. Did you have this magazine? What are your thoughts? I'm going to go more in depth with like the Pro Wrestling Illustrateds and stuff. I think those are more fun. But this was a cool trip down memory lane. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. And I'll see you on the next one.